Traders from around the world, what's going on? It's your boy Ricky Cadden back again with another free real life stock review from Real Life Trading Australia. Now today guys is a pretty special day. I am actually going to go back in time and speak about this particular market drop that we have had here in February and March. I did mention back here on this day that we were just gearing up to have a stock market pullback of about 5 to 10%. But take a listen to what I did say in the trading rooms and how the market reacted and transpired. Take a listen. Let's get started. The SPY, guys, gapping down and it's looking a little bit weak. So I did mention we're going to trade higher a little bit and then come back down, possibly back down to here. To be honest, I actually think just taking a look at the volatility index, within the next 2 weeks, we should have some sort of pullback. Just what's going on, this price action that's going on here. This right here, this high wave candle right here, looks very, very similar to what we had back here. So it's been a while. I mean, since August, it makes sense to kind of have a little bit of a pullback. And back in August, if you have a look at what kind of happened there, it was we had like a 10% pullback. That's what I'm waiting for. Definitely am waiting for that 10% pullback. So I will be closing a lot of swings out today, and we will talk about that shortly, and maybe even taking some small losses. We'll see. We'll see how bad it is. The E-minis just resting. The interesting part about the E-minis, guys, is we had an inside day hammer candle right here, and we had weaker volume than the previous day, and now we've got lower lows. Right now we're just in this nice little pennant pattern, but it does look weak. So in my opinion, I think we're going to have a little bit of a pullback, or we could just completely trade sideways. We'll see how it goes. But if you're looking at the 30-minute, you can really start to see the pennant forming with the lower highs and the higher lows. Interesting stuff. Perfect. All right, guys, broader markets. So I did mention we'd probably pull back. I've been saying this for a while now, that this would be the top somewhere about here. And right now we're gapping down. What's going on here? So we're gapping down to 386.65, gapping down to a previous level of support. Is a white candle gapping down, which is a retest gap. Now, what's really interesting about this particular gap is if it doesn't fill straight away, I would be quite bearish on the market. When I say straight away, I mean if we don't start trading bullish at open, it doesn't have to completely fill the gap, but we need to see some bullish pressure coming in. I'm going to get rid of this line just because it was more so this is where the dip's going to, and I actually think this is going to pull back. But look at the volume that came in on Friday. So what you guys can see here, just basically looking at the chart, I'll just zoom in a little bit so you can see here. This level right here is really struggling. So can anyone see a particular pattern without me pointing it out? Can anyone see what particular pattern that is? Andre says H&S, head and shoulders. That's correct. Yep, it is. So you might not be able to see it here, but if you zoom into the lower time frame, what you'll actually see is that. And I've said this before, it's actually a really bearish pattern, and it's a really rare pattern. They don't generally happen a lot, but when they do, they generally play out. So the fact that we are, gapping down, no surprise here. We had a white candle gapping up just the other day, and we faded all day. So the broader markets, guys, we had a slight pullback. Nothing too phased here. This was a black candle gapping down, which is a retest gap. If you take a look at the short-term moving averages, we were just coming down to retest the 50 EMA. You can see this also on the E-minis. Type in a 1 if you think that we are going to go higher, and type in a 2 if you think we're going to go lower. I'm interested to hear your thoughts, see what you guys think. Ryan says 2, Jamie says 2, Bill says 2, Ali says 1. Eve says 1, then 2. Deirdre says 1 and 2. 1 and 2. Well, we'll talk about this because take a look at the 30-minute, guys. Are we still creating lower highs and lower lows? 1 short term, then 2, Jigger says. And Jigger is correct. I think that's exactly right. I think we're going to have a nice little bull run and then a nice little pullback. Makes a lot of sense. This dip, if you take a look at the E-minis, I've got so many lines on here. Let me just pull these back. Don't need that, don't need that. Or this, or this. Okay, sweet. So usually, guys, if we do have a pullback, something like this generally occurs, right? We usually have a nice little, a trade higher, a lot of people closing out their positions, and then we retest this support level. So we did come back down to, very close to the 50. We are still pulling back, and we are still struggling to break that particular trend. So we are still creating lower highs. So in my opinion, guys, I think we're just going to trade up a little bit and then maybe roll back down. Makes a lot of sense. Hence why we are in SPY puts. So if you take a look on the SPY, we actually had the gap down and we had a really big short-term pullback, and then we just rallied. You can see this on the 5-minute really nicely. Quick little sell-off, everyone freaking out. Nice little rally, high lows, double bottom. Here's your neckline, breakout, retest, and then rally. So we actually ended up getting filled on this right about here. And yeah, so we're pulling back, which is good. Fantastic. Raiders from around the world, what's going on? It's your boy Ricky Cadden back again with another free Friday stock review just for you from Real Life Trading Australia. Hope you guys are doing absolutely sensationally splendid. Now, we are looking a little bit bearish in the markets. If you have been watching my stock reviews for the last few weeks, possibly since about back here this day, I did mention are we going to be topping out here, and there was a big reason why. I will actually make a special video in explaining what I was looking at, but for now, guys, let's just take a look at the broader markets and see what is going on. Now, the SPY, I did mention back on this day right here, this sensational hammer candle in the trading room, I did mention, guys, we are most likely going to trade higher and then roll back down. As you can see here, this is pretty much exactly what we did. If you take a look at the E-minis, we are currently sitting at a support level right here. This 3800 level is a very key level. I do think we can break it. I know we have a lot of volume here right now as we speak. If we take a look at the 15 minutes, obviously there's not a whole lot of volume coming in on the futures right now, but we are looking fairly weak as we speak. So the E-minis right now, I still do think we do go a little bit lower. If we can break this 3800 level, guys, expect us to come back all the way back down to the 3700 level, which is almost the 100 simple moving average. This would actually be about close to an 8% pullback. I did mention we would have about a 5 to 10% pullback in the broader markets, and we are currently having that right now. So if you guys did close out some positions, take some profits, maybe you even shorted the market, then well done to you guys. Well, guys, that's the phenomenal analysis that you guys are going to get if you do join the trading rooms. In fact, if you would like to join our trading rooms, it is that time of the year once again where we have the free week. Now, if you do want to get involved with the free week and you do want to join me and my team at Real Life Trading in the trading rooms Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from the 22nd through till the 2nd of April. Just go to reallifetrading.com.au, click on the free week link up the top here, and make sure you guys do sign up, put in your details, RSVP, create yourself a free account, get involved, and I'd love to see you in the trading room and enrich your lives with a whole bunch of knowledge, go through a whole bunch of strategies with you as well. It's going to be very beneficial and it's completely free. But let's talk about the broader markets and what's happening right now. Now you can see we've had this descending trend line for the last 3 weeks since I said that the market was dropping, and we have been rejecting this particular price level pretty relatively, and you can see if you take a look at the E-minis, we are actually still rejecting this particular price. So I'm not overly bullish nor bearish, guys. I'm just pretty neutral at this point. We did get that 5%, that 5 to 10% pullback that we wanted. It was about a 7% pullback on the E-minis, and on the SPY, you can see we had a nice little pullback. Of about 5% as well. Now, this obviously, guys, we can possibly roll back down. We are still waiting for a nice little close above this level, and then a nice little retest to trade higher. But the market is not looking overly strong just yet, so I do think that we will have a little bit more of a pullback. A nice pullback back down to the 100 simple moving average would be absolutely phenomenal if that does happen. But if not, I'm very happy for the stocks to start going bullish. Here's the E-minis once again, still in this trend line, and the first stock, let's take a look at Fastly. Now Fastly, we have actually been getting into some longer term leap plays. Now leaps are just long term options. We are playing this one with call options, and we have been scaling into this position since about $80. Now we are looking to pyramid into this particular trade. We did come down and have a phenomenal gap and go just yesterday, which I did end up buying some more $65 call options for June 2022. So keep that in mind. We have been consolidating sideways since about June last year, and this is a highly profitable company. So I do think and do believe that this is getting ready and gearing up for a nice push higher and to start creating some new all-time highs. So make sure if you are looking at investing Fastly, keep that one on your watch list for a nice little bounce. We are also trading at a very, very nice support level, as you can see right here. Next on the list is NEO. Now NEO has actually had a phenomenal pullback from the highs, pulling back about 50%, pulling back 50%. Wow, incredible. Now this one, guys, if you take a look at the shorter term moving averages, we are still below the 10 EMA, and I do expect us to trade up into the short term moving averages, roll back down, create a nice little support level down here at 36. But 36, we did throw in a very nice long lower shadow, phenomenal hammer candle. So I do expect that to at least test as another support as well. But NEO definitely looking like we are starting to bottom out very, very soon. But look to buy the dip on NEO. Here's AMD. Now AMD, I did actually draw Mr. Squiggles here. If you take a look at the long-term moving averages, this is what I do believe is going to happen on AMD over the next year or so. I am in some longer-term calls, which I did get into yesterday, and I mean, we have had a great pullback from the all-time high. We did get a pullback of about 25%, and you guys know I have been mentioning 30% pullback on most high-growth company stocks is generally a really nice time to start looking at getting in. So AMD, really, really nice, starting to find support at $75 here, and I do believe this one will start to go higher. Here's Shopify. Now Shopify also having a 30% pullback. Shocking that we are actually starting to bounce. Another highly profitable company. Now if you have a look here, guys, we've actually been in this range since July last year. I mean, this stock is a very highly profitable company. Most likely you would have been buying low and selling high, but if you are thinking about investing in a particular company, this stock will most likely go to $2,000 this year. I do believe that's going to happen very, very soon. But Shopify coming back down to a previous level of resistance, finding support, and then back down at the 200 simple moving average. We did, last time we came back to the 200 simple was back here during the peak of COVID, and then before that was November. And as you can see, what has kind of happened after those levels have been touched, we have found support and just gone higher. So Shopify waiting for the springboard, and it will hopefully go higher very, very soon. Here's the ASX 200. Now the ASX 200, very, very bearish candle, as you can see here today. Now I do believe that if the market does pull back a little bit further, we'll probably see a nice little pullback into support at around the 100 simple moving average. But most likely, guys, if we just trade sideways in the market, we'll most likely continue to trade sideways here. Let the 100 trade up slowly and then slowly start to bounce. Got a request from BC to take a look at Zero. Now, here's Zero. Now, BC, this did actually come down to my green zone. This green zone is a buying location. However, as you can see here, we have actually pulled back from the highs 33%. Now, last time we pulled back this far was back down during COVID, and before that was back in 2018. We are in a phenomenal bullish trend. If you are a very long-term investor on Zero, this is where you would start to look at purchasing a few shares, or at least accumulating a position, some sort of position on Zero. We haven't yet closed above the 10 EMA. You can see we've had a little bit of price rejection for a little while. So what I would actually be looking for, BC, is I would actually be waiting for the stock to kind of trade higher, create a higher low and a nice little higher high, and then I would look to buy the dip on that higher low there. And most likely it'll occur somewhere around the 200 simple moving average. So keep that in mind on Zero. Here's CBA. Now CBA, once again, price action is key, guys. You can see this particular level right here has actually been a very nice selling level. We did create a nice little evening star reversal pattern, back here in February, and we're getting the same thing once again at a previous all-time high. So makes a lot of sense for CBA to trade sideways. I do believe we'll come back down to around 85 or maybe possibly even 83 and look to consolidate sideways after this phenomenal bullish run that we have had end of last year. So CBA, let it consolidate. If you do own shares, you can also look to sell some out of the money covered calls, get yourself some income, and possibly look to acquire more shares with that premium as well. Let's take a look at APT. Now APT did come back into my green zone. This was the buying location. You can see based off previous levels of resistance and support, we did get a phenomenal hammer of Thor back down in this green zone, up 7% on the day. Slightly getting a little bit of price rejection at the 100 simple moving average, but I do expect us to just kind of consolidate here for a little bit and then most likely trade higher on APT. Here's BHP. Now BHP, I have been mentioning that BHP could possibly look to start breaking down just because we have come up fairly high. If you take a look at the RSI, we did get some negative divergence right here as the stocks were moving higher. So as you can see right here, we have got the higher highs on the stock and we've got the lower highs here on the RSI. So guys, if you are looking at purchasing BHP for the long term, I would actually be waiting for a bit more of a dip, possibly even down to around 44, or maybe when the 100 simple moving average comes back into play. That would be a better idea if you are looking at purchasing some shares of BHP. We've been fairly bearish and we are getting a lot of price rejection at 50. So at this point, guys, if we do not bounce at this particular level here at 47, I just think that this is most likely going to crumble lower as there is no resistance in the way at all on BHP. So keep your eyes peeled for a little bit more of a drop on BHP. Here's crude oil. Now, crude oil have been waiting for this one to bounce. Guys, if we do find support here at around 64.50, I expect us to get a nice bullish move to some new highs back to around $74. That'll be absolutely incredible. But for the most part, guys, we are just slowly trending higher on crude. Here's GC, the GC futures or the gold futures. You can see we did come back down to around 1687. This was a very phenomenal buying location based off previous price action levels. If you take a look at the weekly chart, you can see we are forming a very nice hammer candle as we speak on the weekly chart, and we are very close to the 100 simple moving average. So, I mean, gold, guys, eventually will possibly go higher. This is a dip buying opportunity. If you take a look how far we've pulled back already, it's about 20%. If we come back down to the 100 simple, that would be a phenomenal dip buying opportunity for all you gold investors. And last but not least, let's take a look at the Aussie dollar. Now, the Aussie dollar has been getting some price rejection. Did get some price rejection up at 80 cents. You guys did probably do remember me saying that that was going to happen. And right now, if you take a look at the shorter term moving averages, we are now below the 10 and the 20. And right now trying to bounce here at the 50. Although what I do believe is going to happen, guys, is probably going to get another lower high and then, you know, a trade sideways. Let it come back down to the 100 simple as we move higher, and then slowly start to consolidate. This is a very nice selling location based on previous levels, but for the most part, guys, this is just a huge rally, and a lot of people are starting to take their profits. All right, guys. I'll be back on Friday with another free real life stock review, and don't forget to sign up to the free week. I'd love to have you guys there. Be there or be a triangle. 22nd through to the 2nd, join our trading room for free and get all my amazing analysis for free. Alright guys, I'll see you guys soon, and until next time, love life, live life and trade it. You guys rock. Bye.